What did we learn about Payday 3 at E3 2021?
Nice.
So, not a lot. That could be where this video ends, but there's actually a little more to Starbreeze's brief appearance at E3 in the COP Primetime show than what meets the eye. But first, if you, like me, play resource-heavy games such as Payday 2, and of course are anticipating the launch of Payday 3, it may be time to upgrade your browser to one more suited to those intense sessions to come. I'm happy to announce that I've partnered with Opera once again to talk to you about the GX browser. You should remember that we're looking at the Alpha browser for gamers with CPU and RAM limiters to prevent drop frames, and impressive integrations with the likes of Twitch and Discord. But that's not all. Did you know your favourite messenger apps such as WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger are fully integrated and accessible within the browser sidebar? That means no more excessive tabbing. We also know that this is a stylish browser, so why not try out some custom animated wallpapers to take you even further? Not to mention, Opera has access to all your favourite Google Chrome extensions, so you won't be losing out by making the switch. And with the ability to quickly import all of your settings from your previous browser of choice via the synchronization tool, making the move to Opera GX has never felt easier. The features keep going though, with a new Forced Dark Pages mode for us cave dwellers out there, and even an in-browser VPN. It is of course free, so if you're convinced and want to try out Opera GX for yourself, follow the link down in both the pinned comment and the description, and be sure to let me know your thoughts on the browser. Thanks again Opera for sponsoring this video. Back to the topic at hand, over on my GX browser I've been filtering through relevant articles and press events that the Starbreeze and Overkill boys have done to give you all the available information as of the event. Of course, you should be immediately drawn to the screenshot at the end of the main presentation. This was the big reveal, and don't get me wrong, it's exciting and tells us a lot. But it was showcased a day prior in a show reel, so really we waited 2 hours in a conference that was more about interviews than trailers, or for something we'd already had shown to us. Yeah, this went down like a lead balloon, outside of maybe some people who thought the trailer actually was for Payday 3, and not a bunch of spliced together Payday the Heist and 2 clips. In that case, they must be thinking the game looks pretty rough at this point. However, this image is still well worth taking a closer look at. Instantly, something, or really someone, should stand out to you. Yep, that is Wolf slab squatting over there. He's back, and I'd say at this point, without much doubt, these are going to be playable characters, and they are exactly who they look like. That's actually Wolf, not some imposter carrying the mantle. Yes, I doubt Ulf will be back as his voice actor, but the character is most certainly back within Payday 3. Great news in my opinion. Previous recasting efforts have brought us franchise legends like Damien Poitier's Chains, by the way, as much as I'd love to see Ulf reprise his role. Speaking of the other heisters, I love how they're presented here with so much effortless personality. Wolf has that slightly unhinged tilt in his neck, Dallas looks like he's ready to call a shot with his sidearm already drawn and with a phone in hand. Chains is equally serious and up for a fight, with duffel bags either full of weapons or maybe some loot stole earlier. Finally, Hoxton stands in the background, stylish and with his hands in his pockets. He's just too damn cool to be getting worked up over whatever the crew are gazing at, and I love it. It's worth mentioning that Dallas's mask seems to have undergone some changes. It's a lot chunkier in this image than Payday 2, and even seems different from the one seen in the last screenshot. I'm not reading too much into this, as it could very easily just be two artist renditions, which vary slightly. Looking at the backdrop, I still believe this is set within New York, likely Manhattan, as that would certainly be aligned with what we saw in the first promotional piece. These curved skyscrapers and recognizable spires scream New York. Even the ornate building they're on top of looks like it could be one of many banks found within the city. There is a rumor going around that Payday 3 will have a Hollywood setting, but I think that's more of a misquote, as Primemata, the game's new publishing label, were the one who described Payday's environment as Hollywood-like, probably more in relation to the large Hollywood-esque action set pieces as opposed to the location itself. It's also worth mentioning, in this image, Houston is missing, despite many of us assuming he was a silhouette in the first art release. I think this has more to do with the marketability of the four-man team Overkill have been rolling with for years now, but it's incredibly difficult to say what that means for Houston. I wouldn't give up hope as a fan of the character, and can easily see Payday 3 having a larger release roster than Payday 2, with one of the female heisters also making it in my opinion. Beyond this, we had a lot of major gaming publications discussing the launch of Payday 3, alongside the emergence of Primemata. Many of these quoted pre-E3 briefs given by the one and only Almir Listo.
That's me, Almir.
And in the Primetime conference, we received some more specifics from game director Eric Winevi. On the surface, this looks like nothing significant, but inferring a little deeper, there's a few things I can confirm for you. But first, just quickly a little more on Primemata. For those of you that don't know, this is simply a new publishing label from Koch Media, who already own the likes of Deep Silver, hence why I originally assumed they would be taking over the reins for Payday 3. As it happens, this is all part of an expansive move from Koch called Primemata, a premium label which has some amazing looking titles already on board, but needed that X factor. If anyone wanted some sort of confirmation that Payday 3 is going to be a massive launch, this should be it, with Koch pinning the hopes of their new label on Payday, already using it to bring interest to other titles under the same publisher. Even at this early stage, it was held as the show closer, consistently reserved for the largest, most anticipated game. Take Nintendo's Breath of the Wild 2 for example. I truly think this is great news for Payday 3, surrounded by great games which draw external interest, but still the king of the bunch able to shine as the primary focus for the marketing efforts of the publisher. Alongside this revelation, Eric said some really interesting things which cut out a lot of speculation. Quote, "In the gang's life of crime, they are way past the point of no return, and as we look ahead for what's to come, the gang will learn that there's no rest for the wicked." Payday 3 is definitely a sequel in case you were wondering, and it will be about the current Payday gang. None of this time skip or next generation of heister theory I had going before. In fact, I think this even alludes to where the narrative will go, with a new nemesis appearing or event occurring to drag the gang back into a life of crime. No rest for the wicked really seems to imply this wasn't their choice, they simply had to return. In fact, this call out of revenge, mentioned in an article by The Gamer, may suggest that we really are embarking on another revenge campaign after some unknown party took down President Bane, or even a beloved contractor like Locke. Keep that on the back burner until we receive more information. Finally, I can tease one more piece of information out from the underwhelming conference. Starbreeze are now stating their intent to utilize modern tech to create a fully fledged social heist universe. This sounds like pure jargon, but I think it very possibly points to the game being a lot more open and having some sort of hub world as opposed to the menu-based crime net we see in Payday 2. The idea with Payday 2 was always that it was some great heisting universe, seeing other crews' jobs and plans being set up all over DC on the laptop before embarking on your own heist. It sounds to me as if Overkill wants to extend this system in a more immersive way, with the possibility for a somewhat open heisting universe, with crimes going on across the street from you as you plan your next hit. I think open world is a little too much to expect, especially with online functionality, but I can certainly see Overkill moving away from the safe house essentially being the game's menus to something a little more immersive and probably social at the same time. Although take all of this with a grain of salt, because in the same article, Mr. Kurt McKean, editor-in-chief, suggests the footage of Rust, Hoxton, and even Almir as Harudin is part of a brand new Payday 3 live-action trailer, which, as we know, is not the case. So we're still waiting and holding out hope for 2021 to bring some Payday 3 footage at long last. That does it for this video. Were there any other subtle references you spotted that I missed from this year's E3? I expect this time next year we'll have a lot more to hang our hats on, so thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out Opera if the browser interests you, and I'll see you all very soon. As ever, thank you very much to my Mean Infamy patrons and above. If you want to join that infamous club to see yourself in the credits or get early exclusive access to my videos, including the story videos, check out my Patreon link below. Remember the Discord is open to all if you crave some more Payday discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all very soon for the next one.